Hello, I'm Meg from Little Arthur Independent, and welcome to our Introduction to Homeschooling series. As home education specialists, we're often being asked questions on how to get started as home educators, and so we've put together this series to try and help with the first steps in your journey. Today we're going to be talking about the law on home education. Are you actually allowed to homeschool in the UK? The answer to that, thankfully, is yes. The law on this topic is contained within 3 provisions, depending on where you are in the UK. If you're in England and Wales, Section 7 of the Education Act of 1996 is the relevant provision. For Northern Ireland, it's Article 45 of the Education and Libraries Northern Ireland Order 1986, and for Scotland, it's Section 30, subsection 1 of the Education Scotland Act of 1980. 3 separate provisions, but the contents is pretty much the same. What it boils down to is this: the parent of every child of compulsory school age, and compulsory means 5 to 16 in England, Wales and Scotland, 4 to 16 in Northern Ireland. The parent of every child of compulsory school age shall cause him to receive efficient, full-time education suitable to his age, aptitude, ability and any special educational needs. And I should clarify, when we say his here, we do mean her as well. This needs to be achieved either by regular attendance at school or otherwise, and it's the or otherwise that gives you the right to home educate your child in the UK. Not just the right, but if you look at the phrasing of the statute, it's set on an equal footing with school. Your right to send your child to school and your right to home educate are equal. Now, how this applies depends a little bit on which country you live in. In Scotland, if your child is already registered in a council-run school, you have to ask permission to home educate. That permission shouldn't be unreasonably withheld, and we've got quite a lot of students in Scotland, so I know that definitely works there. But you do need to seek permission. In England and Wales, it's a little bit different. Most families won't need to seek permission, even if their child is already enrolled in a school. However, if the child has special educational needs and is enrolled in a specialised school to support those needs, then permission needs to be sought, because the council need to see that you're able to meet your child's identified needs. In Northern Ireland, you don't need permission at all. If your child is in school, out of school, in a specialist school, it doesn't matter. You have the right to home educate your child. So that's it. That is the law on whether you're allowed to homeschool your child. But as a parent, you do have obligations. You have to fulfil your side of the law, because it's not just about your rights as a parent to home educate, it's also about your child's right to receive an education. So what do you need to do? The education you provide has to be, looking back to the statute again, efficient, full-time and suitable. And there's been case law that decides what those words mean. Efficient essentially means it achieves what it sets out to achieve. If you want your child to achieve IGCSE biology, they're going to have a grounding in science. If you want them to learn maths, they're going to need to understand numbers. There's no point in teaching them French if you don't speak any yourself. So you'll need to access additional resources. Efficient means it works. Suitable is a bit of a tricky one. What it essentially boils down to is it needs to be enough to enable your child to thrive and do their best in the society in which they live. Now, as parents, we don't always approve of the society we live in, and we may not want to immerse our children within that society. We may think that exams are not the best way to measure success. However, we have to live with the fact that most jobs in the UK are going to look for exam qualifications as a starting point for whether somebody should be employed by them. Rightly or wrongly, it helps to have those. So we need to set our children up for success as home educators. At Little Arthur Independent, that means teaching towards the IGCSE syllabus so that students can have those qualifications to give them opportunities for the future. How this will look depends on each child, because it's all about personal best, how each individual child can thrive within the society in which they live. Finally, full-time. full-time does not mean 9 till 3:30 Monday to Friday, sitting at a desk with a textbook studying. It may mean that in school, it doesn't with home education. You will find as a parent that when you teach your child one-to-one, their learning does not follow the same pattern as it would in school. There are far fewer distractions, it's focused, it's driven. You may learn in an hour what you couldn't learn in 6 in a group environment. Equally, there may be concepts that you have to spend a lot longer on because it takes your child that long to pick it up. That's fine. But you do not need to follow the patterns of school. And you certainly don't need to be working Monday to Friday. If the weekends are better, if the evenings work better, you do what is best for your child. And you don't need to be at a desk. While you definitely benefit from sitting in a calm, quiet environment if that's the sort of work you're working towards, there are educational opportunities everywhere. You can be out at the beach and learning geography, in the forests and learning biology, in the supermarket and learning maths. The opportunities are endless, and so full-time education just means taking the fullest advantage of the opportunities presented for your child to learn. It does not mean 9 till 3:30, Monday to Friday. And that's it. You have the right to teach your child at home as long as you do so in a way that gives them their best shot, that's efficient, suitable and full-time. Thank you for listening. I look forward to talking to you again on another topic. Just let us know in the comments if there's any questions that you have and we'll do our best to cover them. Bye.